Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Purposed for Forever. We thank you guys for being here, rocking and hanging with us. Today, we're talking about money. So, we appreciate you guys. We're going to kick it off, and we'll be right back after these. Oh, and I'm in the wrong daggone thing. That's what I was wondering what's wrong. There we go. Hey, there we go. Look at that. That's more Purpose for Forever.
Oh, I'm looking like something looks wrong. Oh, I'm slow. I'm tired. That's my excuse.
All right, let's go.
Me and you together, our purpose for forever. Won't let nothing ever tear us apart. Me and you together, our purpose for forever. Won't let nothing ever tear us apart. Me and you together, our purpose.
Bam, and we're back.
It was
Yes.
a little bit of a surprise.
All right, so like I said, today we're talking money. So I'm gonna hand this off to my partner because this is her topic, and she's gonna take the lead.
Sounds like he took it easy way out. But hi guys, thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate your support, your time. Like you said, we're gonna talk. I just want to kind of make it really broad because I realize once you bring up money, it could kind of go in so many different directions.
Yeah.
So we wanted to have kind of like a broad topic. Hopefully, anybody that joins in, you guys can be in the comments because I need other opinions on this matter. So we came to this topic based on a post that I saw. So I'm going to read the post really quick, just vaguely, not the whole thing because it's somebody else's post. So not people get. So it says, ladies, your husband who pays 100% of the bills wakes you up at 3 a.m. and asks you to cook. What do you do? So when I saw this post, there were several thoughts that immediately went off in my head. So it kind of got me to thinking how a lot of relationships lately have become so money focused.
Right.
Is who pays the bills and who contributes more, and the person that pays more bills, that person has more of a say so, or whoever has the most money is in control, and a whole bunch of other borderline ridiculous things. So I figured he and I would talk about it online because sometimes our offline conversations be so good, but then when we get ready to share, we already done said all the good stuff.
Right.
So we're going to talk about it online. So me, because I'm a woman, when I read this, and don't get me wrong, I cook for my husband. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm a cooker. I love to cook. Cook for my husband, I cook for my family, whatever. But the whole, because he pays 100% of the bills, I should get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and cook. That to me just seems so ridiculous.
Right.
One, I failed to see what the money had to do with anything.
Right.
Like, what difference does it make if he pays 100% of the bills? So that means he could disregard my needs, my desire to rest.
Yes. I'm just messing with you.
And all those other things. I personally thought it was kind of ridiculous. I mean, and then of course, I had lots of questions.
Right.
Like, why is it 3 o'clock in the morning? And are you just coming home? Didn't you pass several places? I mean, there's so many things that could go into this post, but I really wanted to talk about just the money side of marriage. Basically, do you guys have joint accounts or do you have separate accounts? Right. What do we have?
We have a joint account. We have a joint account and we have separate accounts. Like everything pretty much gets dumped into the main account, and we probably keep a little bit to the side for like little stuff, little extras and things of that nature.
Okay, is that what your separate account?
Yes.
Right. See, my separate account is more like the emergency money. Because even though I would love to keep it to the side to, do whatever, I, wind up usually spending it on something that we need or something for the kids or those type of things. But he's right. We have a joint account, and then we have our separate whatever, and then I have a separate credit card.
Right.
And I believe that he has one as well.
Right.
But as far as like our finances go, we have a joint account.
Right.
We both pay bills out of the account. We don't keep track of who put in more this week or this month or who put in less.
Right.
As we're building a life together and we plan for that life together.
I mean, it's I don't know, like, when we've seen a couple of big name celebrities give cash to their, I guess, some were spouses or boyfriends, and if you're a spouse, to me, it's all the same money,
Not if we don't have a joint account.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, it's all the same money because the same bills got
yours is mine and what mine is mine. I'm sorry.
Because the bills all need to be paid, right? The same bills need to be paid.
Or maybe you pay all the bills, so then I'm just giving you some cash.
I guess. I don't know, but that like I don't just give me cash. Like I don't know. That's just such a.
So if I came in the house and I gave you $250,000, you're gonna say
that's our
don't give me cash?
That's all of our quarter. But my thing is, like, I don't know. For me, that kind of money is our money. Like it's all the same.
Okay, but you trying to tell me that you wouldn't think of the first thing that you've been dying to buy for yourself and go buy it, and then maybe the rest would be our money?
I mean, that kind of money coming in, you're gonna be buying some stuff. I'm gonna be buying some stuff. Yeah, definitely. But to me, it's all the same money. It's all the same money. I don't know what that face means, but it's all the same money.
I'm listening to you.
I'm just saying, like, it's all in the same pot. We all got the same money.
But that's only if we have joint accounts. If we don't have joint accounts, that means we have very separate money. And 9 times out of 10, we have very separate way that we pay the bills.
I guess.
And maybe there's things you're responsible for.
I guess. To me, it's all the same. It's all the same. Even joint, non-joint. If we splitting up all the bills, like the basics are paid. Like, I don't know. To me, it's all the same.
So here's the thing, right? We say this all the time. For your relationship, your marriage, your household, whatever you're working on, you have to decide what fits and what works for you. Right. Now, I'm sure there are several couples that have separate accounts, and the way they do their finances is probably very different from the way we do ours. So no, we're not saying that anything is more wrong or more right. The point that I kind of wanted to make was talking about the finances is just in your household, the way you set it up. Is there an expectation for the person that makes more? Does that person have more say so? Like, does that person get 75% of the vote and you only count it as a quarter? So like, are you always overruled because that person makes money? Like, does the money define,
He said, I agree with you, Sam. If spouse gave me money, I'm thinking that my money since she gave me.
That's my money.
That's my money since she gave it to me.
See, that's what I'm saying. And he might figure out how to spend the whole $250,000 on himself. Right. I'm just saying, I think that, like when it comes to finances, sometimes the lines aren't clear. Sometimes, the expectations are different. When we first got married, let me tell you something. As far as like money go, we have been on the money train. Right. Like we've tried several different things. For a while he felt like, and I'm not gonna look at him, he felt like, he was the man. The man's supposed to handle the money. The man's supposed to pay the bills. And then that didn't quite work the way we thought it should. So we had to go back to the drawing board. We have tried different things, but you have to figure out what works in your household, and you can't allow money to dictate who's on top, or maybe I didn't say that part right. Dictate your role, or
Right,
like you're
right.
treated like the
Lesser
lesser
person. 'Cause-
member of the
right.
partnership, because maybe you don't make enough, as much. Like there are households where I'm sure the woman makes more money. Should the woman then be considered the head of the household because she makes more than her husband? So it's like, you do what I say because you don't make enough money. Like, should those types of things be happening?
No, I mean, because it's all, we have a role in our households, and it's not transactional. It's not based on what you're bringing in. It's based on how we set our household up. That's how I look at it. It doesn't matter how much. I mean,
So you're trying to say you in charge no matter
I'm
what?
in charge, even with my $15 a week job, and you making $200,000 a week. I'm still in charge.
Okay.
I mean, it's as the man, I'm still. It's supposed to, be to provide the security, provide covering, and provide a lot of different things outside of money.
I'm about to say, what you're not providing money.
I mean, but money doesn't equate to my position. I'm already in position. You married me because you wanted the covering, you wanted a companion.
Maybe I married you because I thought you was cute.
Well, that too. All right. Sorry, guys. We'll listen. Oh, but so definitely, money doesn't equate to position. Now, granted,
It shouldn't equate to
Yeah.
position.
money shouldn't equate to position. So granted, yes, it may pull a strain on the family if that was always the way he ruled, like was money, meaning he provided and throwing the money. I'm the money maker, I'm making, and I'm doing it. Then she go out and she gets more. Now it's like my position is threatened because that's how I've been throwing my weight around. That's how I've been throwing my authority around based on what I've been bringing in and what I've been making. So now that she's making, she's going to have the conversation. Well, now I'm making more. What's going on? That could, what I'm saying? So if your household gets set up, to me, and that's what I feel, in my opinion, if your household is just based on finances, then you're right. Whoever makes the most is going to rule, but if your household is set up correctly, then, the man is handling his business, the woman is handling her business.
What exactly is the woman's business?
Well, I mean, we're saying the man, you married me, so you're my helpmeet, right?
Mm-hmm.
We are leading the household. We're taking care of the children. We're doing our business, taking care of the community, and handling as far as our family is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
How we provide doesn't equate to what we do.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? So I'm still leading the household, having vision doesn't mean you don't have purpose. Doesn't mean you're not into your own business. It just means I'm still taking care of the household. Better get a second job if he thinks, like that when she makes more. Right.
Right. So are the money conversations hard to have? Is that a hard conversation to have?
It can be if you never have it. If you never discuss money. I think the money conversations really get hard when money gets tight. If you've never had a money conversation, because like if me and you are both flourishing and money's just coming into the household and we're not, like, I'm doing my extracurricular stuff, outside and, and there's no problem and you're doing whatever you want to do, it only becomes an issue when it gets tight. So it's now, what are we going to cut? My extracurricular activity costs $100 a week, whereas whatever you do, maybe like 20, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, babe, we can't keep doing that $100 a week thing that you do, and it's like, well, I got to lose my stuff, So I think things like that, when money gets tight, I believe that's when it gets tough. That's when the money conversation gets tough, unless you have it in the beginning.
Right. Okay, that was my next
Yeah,
question.
yeah.
So money and finances, that's something you should be talking about prior to marriage, once you cohabitate, after the engagement. Where should money come in?
I would say prior to, if you can get to it.
Like before we even engage, don't be asking me about my money. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, like okay. Well, what if we serious, right?
What is
got-
serious?
I mean, I'm considering getting on my knees.
Do I still pay my own rent?
Yes.
Then my money's not none of your business.
Really?
I'm
can't-
serious.
Not having
Like, I mean, I think maybe the conversation, if we talk about, you know,
because
if we talking about marriage,
right.
yeah, maybe how we want to set up a household.
Right.
Yes, I guess.
Because okay, so let me say it this way then, because you know, and I truly is like a small population of women, but like no, I'm just listen. Hear what I'm saying. Women that say, you know, I'm not paying for anything. My man gonna pay for everything. I got a job. I'm keeping all my money. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, is that wrong? Is that a wrong idea to have, to want a husband?
It bother me.
Hold on. Let me finish my question.
Okay. Sorry.
Is it wrong to want a husband to pay all the bills?
Is it wrong?
Right.
No, I don't think it's wrong. I mean, he said, Rollins said, I'm proud to have my wife make more than me. She pursued her education to the highest level and deserves it, definitely. I won't say it's wrong. I believe you should have that conversation. Okay. You know, because keeping it real, like a man, average Joey said, I think your partner's attitude and behaviors regarding money.
You leave it at words.
I think you should know your partner's attitude and behaviors regarding money before getting married.
Right. I agree about the before. Like, okay, so while we dating, right? Mm-hmm. I'm watching how you spend money.
Okay.
Like, you know, of course, when I'm around, I'm watching that. I'm trying to see how you spend money. If you're always throwing it up, you know, if you're at the strip club making it rain, like, you know, I'm taking notes of those things. Now, like I said, when it gets to the conversation where we talking about, you know, getting married in the future or whatever, yeah, like I think that's definitely when you should have the conversation about how, you know, in my mind, how we plan to set up our finances. Right. I mean, I think that's only fair, but I also think like there has to be forward talking though. Like, you know, we talking about getting married. You can't just be wanting to know what's going on in my pockets and we dating. Just like I shouldn't want to really be knowing what's going on in your pockets. Right. When we date.
I mean, like, you know, if there's a moment where you need to like borrow something from me because you're behind. I'm saying because you're behind or something. I'm just saying.
We
like,
dating, you can't borrow money from me.
I can't hold nothing.
No.
We've been together a year. I still can't hold nothing.
We dating, you can't.
Priority because bills don't stop. No, so okay, so you saying about the woman saying I'm gonna keep my own and you pay everything. The woman, right? And I was gonna tell you, like, you know, that for I'll say for me would be like, oh snap, boom, one household, two incomes, we killing the game. And then, you know, somewhere I guess in our conversation, like, I can't wait to get married because you get pay all the bills. You know, however you flavor it up so it can go down nice. And I'm like, So
yeah, but I mean, but if you still propose to me,
no, I know, right then though, I'm like,
you can't be mad when I'm not willing.
You're right, because then once you said that, you know, and I mean, I'm like, there's no, you don't want to pay nothing. And that's exact face up, nothing.
I want you to take care of me. Can I call you, what's it called? Zaddy, daddy? Don't you want to be Zaddy? Pay all my bills?
No. You know, so I think definitely having those conversations matter. Like, you gotta have those level of conversation you're getting together. Like, I mean, and like you said though, you're watching. Like, I'm watching you. You know, I'm watching you, you know, buy a new Mercedes. You know, I'm watching you. I'm just saying, like, then I'm looking at the bags and I see that they're real. Like, wow, you spent a lot. You
right.
know?
So just know when you marry me.
I know. And this is on my mind. Like,
you're going to be helping maintain this Mercedes. And I need a bag for birthdays, Valentine's Days, Christmas, just because gifts. I need all that.
Right. So, I mean, got to have those conversations. and I gotta feel comfortable, you know, and you gotta be honest with yourself. Because like you said, once we have the conversation and you like smooth talk me, but literally say, expect you to pay for everything. I'm not paying for nothing. But you smooth talk me and I still eat it up. I'm just saying, like I eat it up and I still marry you. This is what you can't be like I said this. I said this in the beginning. You can't be mad.
You mean if she put it on you,
right?
And then you like, whatever you want,
like and, Chili Willy, yeah. Right. So it just, I mean, it just have those conversations though. Like you gotta be realistic. You gotta think clear. You got, we get lost in the fog of love and emotions and stuff like that,
and
lusterizing and all of that. So, yeah, definitely have to be clear on the relationship you get into. Definitely. I'm sure. Oh, I'm done. I'm done.
Since she buttered you up.
Right.
That's one way of putting it, buttering them up.
Right.
Listen, I mean, I see, well, we all got social media and TikTokies and all that other stuff. I see so many things where it's almost like it's not about love anymore. It's more transactional. What do you bring to the table?
Right.
Well, maybe it's my table. Why I got to bring something to it? Is it my table?
Right.
What I'm bringing, I brought me to the table. Like, it's no more about who you are as a person.
Right.
What was that song? What have you done for me lately? It's what can you do for me?
Right.
On both sides. And then, people always wonder, oh yeah, marriage don't work. So I have so many divorces. It's not that marriage doesn't work. It's just that we have gotten misguided. Right. Back in the day, back in the day, marriages, a lot of them started out not about love either. Right. It was somebody told you who you was gonna be with, and that was it. And then you figured out how to love them along the way. Right. And then, evolution happened. And so then it was like, okay, I want to love you first. I want to love you going in.
Right.
I don't want to get in there, and then be looking for the love switch in the dark. So, and I feel like now relationships have evolved again to this monstrous situation where everything is about money. And don't get me wrong, it takes money to do everything. It takes money to build a home. It takes money to build a family. It takes money, cars don't run, there ain't no gas. Right. So money is very important, but I feel like we can't allow our relationships to be centered around money.
Right.
Like not the amounts of it, because I got more, this happens, or because you got less, this has to happen. I think we have to get back to where it's about love. It's about me and you. Like I used to always tell him, listen, even if we wind up in a cardboard box, don't make me chop you. Hey, Keita, as long as we in the box together, I always felt like he can make whatever face he want. He know I've said this a bunch of times. I've always felt like I just felt like we could figure it out. Like, if I love you enough, like, I mean, isn't that, I don't like that saying, but like that's, I was gonna say that whole ride or die thing. Yeah, like I'm not dying. That's something different. Like I always felt like if we lost everything, when it's important not to lose each other.
Right.
You can rebuild, you can always buy another house or buy another car or get another apartment. But if you lose the person you love, like even I can get another man, right? But I don't get another him. Oh, fix your face. What's wrong with you? I'm just saying, so the important thing for me has always been trying to maintain the connection and then let everything else center around that.
Right.
Because if we keep the connection strong, then the money that's going to come and go. Because over the years, it comes, it goes, it's high, it's low. Right. All those things happen. But if the connection is strong, then that's what matters.
Yeah, definitely. A strong connection, the communication, just knowing where you're at. Because like you know, like I said in the beginning, when we was talking about the money talk and the conversations, and I think money becomes, you know, like I said, a big issue when it's not discussed. You know, even and just, you know, let's just say, what's up? even if you're in the same space money wise, and you kind of like, we're gonna work together, you still have the conversation about bills and how things are going to be paid. Are we going to do a joint account and separate accounts? You know, are we going to have separate accounts? You take care of these bills, I'm taking care of these bills. You know.
That never works. Let me tell you something. I would like, if that's how you run your household, right?
Yeah.
Rollins, y'all on here. I know I'm all in y'all business. I'm just curious. So, like, is one responsible for some bills and the other one's responsible for other bills, or do you just take care of the bills collectively? I'm curious. Unless it's none of my business, and then y'all don't have to answer. But I feel that if you know, because you're responsible for stuff.
Yeah.
If I don't even know, you know, what bills you're supposed to be paid, like I come home and flick the light.
Right.
The light. Now, what happened? Oh, I forgot. Like,
I ain't have enough.
Well, that's even worse because you didn't even say you didn't have enough.
I was out. I was
and give
out.
Me the chance. Okay,
out.
I guess Rollins said it's none of my business. Oh.
Just call them out. Don't call them out.
I mean, I did. I don't know.
It's all good. But yeah, so yeah, it's that communication about bills and being joint and knowing. I think for all purposes, because you know a spouse can get sick, you know, and one not one may not you know, if one doesn't like know all the bills, it should be obvious, but sometimes it's just like, oh man, it's not in my schedule. I forgot. Okay. It's shared.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can forget, you know, like, why Netflix ain't work? Oh, she usually pay that. You know, like, oh.
And then when I get mad, I'm not paying Netflix. Like, who does petty stuff like that? Somebody. I know there's people that do that. Not gonna pay your Netflix.
Oh, you want the phone to work? It's not today.
Yeah, but then your phone out too. Like,
I'm in the house. I got Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi. All right, but yeah,
you see who the petty one is, right?
Never. I'm not petty.
You are.
I'm not petty.
Yes, you are.
I'm not petty.
Okay.
You don't get it after the show. Oh, but
well, it sounds like a threat. I feel like I might be iced after the show. Y'all check on me and make sure that Ike didn't try to force me to eat the cake. Somebody check on me. I might not be okay.
Yeah, definitely have communication. Yeah, the shared works. I mean, and again, it may work in your household. Maybe the separate way work. You know, just because we can't see it don't mean it can't. But you know, it just may work. It may work somehow.
Like we already said, there's so many ways you can set up your finances.
Right.
I would just suggest people please steer away from these Instagram lifestyles. Stop trying to make your relationship look like the stuff you see on social media. That is detrimental.
Right.
Mainly because mostly only thing people post on social media is the highs. Like they don't be posting when stuff is bad.
Right.
You know, they don't post like the everyday mundane stuff. Oh man, the tires went out. I had to buy 2 tires. Shouldn't have went to the strip club last week. Like, you know, like they don't post those things. Right. So people are trying to mimic stuff they see online, and half of that stuff is false. Like we were talking to the kids about rap careers, and you know, like how sometimes the jury is rented, and sometimes you know,
it's coming to the communication of those talks on a level head and not out of the frustration.
Right. Yeah. Don't wait until, like I said, the light bill ain't been paid, or don't wait until, like he said, the money get tight. Yeah. Like these are things you have to talk about ahead of time.
Right.
And I know sometimes, you know, when you know, everybody now know everything. Right. So people are steering away from marriage counseling. People are steering away from talking to other couples that have been married longer, because I know what I'm doing.
Right.
I know what's gonna happen in my household. You know, like we don't value the voice of others.
Right.
And sometimes people can be wrong. They can give you the best wrong advice ever. And what do I mean by that? Because sometimes people can give you advice and you realize it's so wrong. And you realize that is so wrong that it's something you never want to do.
Right.
So you're cautious to make sure that you never get into that space.
Right.
So even though their advice was bad, it was the best wrong advice you ever received.
Right.
Like you have to remember that sometimes people can, I'm telling you, it could be the worst advice, but it makes the most sense.
Right.
It can help you steer away from certain stuff. See, I knew the next comment was gonna be something outlandish.
So yeah, make sure you're getting sound advice. Counseling always helps. Counseling always makes a difference. You know, definitely a big encourager of premarital counseling and during marital counseling and just counseling throughout the way.
And watch other couples.
Yeah.
Sometimes you learn a lot by watching couples.
Right.
And it, like I said, it could be that whole you're watching what not to do.
Right.
You learn a lot by watching. But people that have been there, done that, trust me, they can tell you something. Even if it's don't do what I did.
Right.
Even if it's I did this and this. I don't know why I've been married 4 times. Like it tell you don't do this and this, because then you'll wind up just like them. So like there's a lot that you can learn. Don't just rush out there. Don't take advice. We all know something, but there's somebody that knows a little more than what you know.
Definitely.
On several topics.
Right,
Marriage is something that changes, it evolves,
yes,
it grows,
yes,
it can the bottom can fall out of it sometimes.
definitely.
And then there's times that you can be on a mountain. But the important part is you want to do it together.
Yeah.
Even when the bottom fall out. Oh, you really trying to get us to arguing now, right? Sean, I thought you was my friend.
So how do you feel about family parents asking for money?
Okay, so I'm going to say this before he says something that leads us into an argument when this show is over. I feel like at 45, because that's how old I am now, and, having a long time that we've been together, and learning a lot and making a lot of mistakes, myself making a lot of mistakes. I feel like when, anybody outside of the family that you're building is asking you for resources that is set up for your household, I think that it's important to have open, honest dialogue with your partner about it. Right. Now, if it's like we said, if it's an instance where I have the money in my separate account,
just kids.
If I have the money in my separate account and it won't take away from my home, like if it was money, maybe I don't know, I was gonna get my hair done, so I said, well, I won't get it done. I'll wear a ponytail or whatever, and I do it. Then I think, that might be okay. Right. But I still think it should always be a conversation that you have with spouse. It's anybody. Yeah. I mean, not just, parents. I know, like, not just family. I know when our families ask for stuff, especially when we feel like we got it or like we solid, we think, oh, I'll just go ahead and do it. Right. And even if financially you don't feel the hit, you'll feel the hit in your connection. Right. meaning because your partner could always feel disregarded
Right.
or not important enough for you to share. So I think just like most decisions is something that you should discuss together.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a conversation you have with your spouse. I mean, like you said, like if it was something, like how we got our main stuff, and then we got like the stuff. So she got emergency. A lot of mine goes to because I drive, so I make sure I got stuff to pay for gas and stuff like that. Like so that if someone was like, hey, can I borrow? Or because for me, I cross out the borrow, like what you need, because I always think about some pastor said, he's always says never lend out what you can't afford not to get back. Yeah, but so if it's enough in my spare where I still don't have to touch our main, then I might just, all right, here, whatever, like I may do that. But if it's something that's going to affect us, it's having a conversation, because she's looking at like, hey, we coming up a little short in there. I thought there was, or what'd you do with the, like, where we balling? You bought me a gift, I'm just, so it will cause friction, because I'm like, nah, I gave it to my uncle. He got something going on, and he said this thing gonna be the next thing, and I was like,
all right.
But
Listen,
but yeah, so no,
okay.
but yeah, you gotta have the conversations. You gotta have the conversation. Just because the thing is, like, it's one thing, and you've seen enough of these movies. One thing, if something goes wrong and she knows about it, then we got the sad face together. It's another thing for me to do it and go wrong, and now I gotta tell her something, and now she's mad that, one, I lost the money, two, I didn't talk to her about it, so that's even worse. So it's you gotta have those conversations. I think, especially when it comes to money, if it's in your main pot, there's responsibilities there, then you have to have those conversations. Like now, if he was depleting all of my second, then it's just like, still have the conversation, because I'm gonna need that money from somewhere. I need to still take care of other stuff. But go ahead.
Another thing that we learned about giving money to people, and like I said, it can be anybody,
Right.
is for believers. So specifically, Sean, because you asked and you are a believer, listen, pray first, because there has been several times that we have jumped out there thinking we were helping somebody, not realizing that in that moment there was a lesson that God was trying to teach them.
Yeah.
But we intervened, which in turn got our hand popped for, stepping into an area we shouldn't have been in. So, as well as talking to your spouse about it, it's always good to, throw a quick prayer on it and be led, because sometimes we venture into an area that's not meant for us. Like, we see a need and we're like, all right, I got it, I'm gonna help you out. And sometimes it's not for us to help. And that's a hard lesson, with anybody, even more so if it's your parents, because you thinking they had me, they made me,
Could help me.
Yeah.
To be struggle with no, right.
I mean, no is hard, especially it's hard when it's people that you care about. And then I think it's twice as hard when you feel like you can do it. Right. Because sometimes, God just be like, no, and he don't give you no answer. You like, but that's little John. You like, so yeah, no can be a really, really hard thing. But it's always best to take that no and be obedient than to step into a realm where you don't belong. Because you'll always pay for that.
Yeah, definitely. It's rough with family sometimes. Because you want to help, you want to be there. Then you've got history. They were there for me 25 years ago. I'm trying to be there.
And then you get the whole, you acting different. You done got married and you think you better than us. Oh, you always get like people ask you for stuff, and then they go from asking to being nasty real quick, But it's all right. And sometimes it's just all right. Like Trust me, you don't ever want to get into a position that God makes sure you
You don't.
can't help.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
That disobedient, when you ain't listening, you just keep on.
Yeah.
And then he makes sure to make his point plain.
Yeah. Yeah. You definitely gotta weigh it out, pray it out. And you know, I don't know. Like, is there a limit or when you stop ever giving?
Yep.
I mean, there can be, but you just gotta,
Yep.
pray, use your discernment, because there may be a moment that they may need, and it may be a seed that they're ready for. You never know.
You already had 3 seeds over here. You got all 3. I don't have no more with your name on it. I checked in my seed bag.
no name on it.
There's none with your name on it left in the bag. That's all I'm saying. Okay,
Oh,
so
man.
I'm
You're fine.
just saying.
You're fine. So the main thing is just communication. When it comes to money,
Right.
you just gotta talk. I mean, like, talk. If whatever's going on financially, you just have to have a conversation, because you can't let things just pass and hope for the best, because it causes a lot of strife in your marriage. It'll cause a lot of friction, because, like I said, the main thing is when you put money somewhere and you didn't have the conversation and it go bad. So now we got to deal with the loss of the money that we're both sharing the hurt together. Now she's extra mad because, she didn't know about it. Nothing worse than not knowing about it. Like, at least tell me the risks so I could be praying and hoping this thing gonna work too, as opposed to just losing out, period.
At the end of the day, you want to try to be, and I say try because we all human, and there's going to be times that you're just not on the same page at
Right.
the same time.
Right.
But the goal is to try to be on the same page.
Definitely.
Even if you don't agree, it's like, all right, well, I want to say no, but I trust you enough to let you say yes.
Right.
So, look, I don't really agree.
Right.
We're going to go with it. But
Right.
what that means is if it go bad, you're not going to hit the end of it. That's what that one means. Just for any clarification. Because if I'm saying I got second thoughts and you like, no, we go in. When we go and hit the wall, oh yeah. I got some follow-up statements that I need to make now because, yeah, we done hit this wall. But always the goal, like I said, is to be together.
Right.
As much as humanly possible. It's never going to be all the time. You're not always going to agree.
Right.
You just have to come to a resolve. Like, okay, we don't see eye to eye on this, but we're going to do it this way and move on from it. Communication, no matter, you can't have a successful marriage without communication. You are going to be talking about stuff. Like they said, till death do you part. That means for the rest of your life.
Right.
Death do you part means the rest of your life.
Right.
So you are going to have millions of conversations, especially if you're married to somebody like me. Somebody that has no problem expressing themselves. You're going to have to rise to the occasion and talk. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because just imagine if you don't like to talk, right?
Right.
And if I don't talk, what kind of marriage is this? There's no communication. Oh, don't worry. I got quiet for you.
But yeah, definitely gotta have the communication. Gotta talk. Gotta express yourself. It is key. And
me to shut up.
See, I didn't even say that.
That is what you said.
I didn't.
That's what everybody heard.
That y'all didn't hear that. I
Yes,
didn't
it
say
did. That's what you said. You told me to shut up online. That's what you said.
So we appreciate you guys for being here.
So
Thank you.
calendar.
Oh, listen, you guys make sure if you're not following the intentional love challenge, you still got time. Go to bit.ly/P4F 2022. All my couples, how your challenge is going. Hopefully good. Hopefully you didn't miss too many days. If so, it's all good. Just bounce back.
Right, jump back in there.
Today's not a hard one. Today you can still make it up. Just check it out. I'm not gonna tell you what it is. It's not hard. This one you can make up.
It's late.
It's
too late for
never
too late for the day.
Never too late.
Nobody snacking at 9 o'clock at night. No snacking.
All right, guys. So yeah, definitely join the challenge. bit.ly/P4F 2022. All right. So we thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out with us. As always, continue to stay safe, do the right thing.
Wear your mask.
He said he's doing all right. Continue to wear your mask. Wear your mask. As always, we look forward to Sister Legacy tomorrow at 8:30 and the brothers at 9 a.m. So we look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. As always, love intentionally,
love unconditionally,
and live on purpose.
Me and you together, our purpose for forever.